What's a sign that somebody wasn't raised right? Oh yes, so much this. I know way too many people like this. Shite parents are to blame for that kind of behavior. Unfortunately, when you're raised this way and become an asshole adult who blames literally everyone around them for their life problems, it becomes very destructive to others. One of my brother-in-laws is this way. He along with some of his siblings were raised relatively poorly. Interestingly enough, he was the golden child and was never corrected for anything in his life, while the others were psychologically abused. He is under the impression that he can do no wrong, has never done wrong and never will. Yet he has been arrested for possession of drugs on more than one occasion, has picked fights with the rest of his family and works at a fucking pizza shop making minimum wage. But he claims he has never done anything wrong. Guy is a true piece of work through and through. It's really sad when he was raised a certain way, yet his siblings were treated much worse. However, at the end of the day, the parents created the mess that it all has become. It's so sad because my parents always had their own problems and got divorced when I was younger. My mom had only me and my brother left and we were both trying to combat her severe depression. One thing I noticed though was that every time I did something wrong I would always get my way in the end because in a way, she didn't want to lose me. She pampered me a lot despite a lot of difficulties she faced in her own life and always made sure I was number one in her life, and that is honestly so sweet. But as a result I became quite complacent, thinking that there was nothing wrong with my behaviors when there were. When it came to small things I would definitely apologize, but in the end I got so used to having my way I was becoming very manipulative, towards my mom and also the people around me. I developed a lot of self-destructive behaviors, always waiting for people to help or forgive me, and in the end, I fucked up a lot of friendships because I got mad or upset when normal people were tired of my shit. They let me know directly. In hindsight I do realize it was extremely immature on my part, and even to this day I still struggle with it to an extent, albeit smaller. But I am a lot more self-aware than before and I am learning more and more every day to observe more how my actions affect others, especially in negative ways, and also figuring out that everything I do is really on me and I can't really manipulate anybody to what I want them to do for my own gain. Man, this makes me sound pretty psychotic, and I don't think I'm 100% mentally sound, to be honest. I'm still dealing internally with a lot of my past, but I've grown to accept it a lot more and am still growing every day. I realize I have a really deep desire to be cared for and loved because despite my mom doing so much for me, she always had her own problems and a lot of growing up time was spent trying to help her through them. I felt robbed. I never had the loving family I always dreamed of and I don't really have a chance of having one anymore. So I tried to seek it out externally even before I've done really anything to deserve it. Sad face, but I'm positive. I would say I am proud of the person I've grown to become, and though obviously I have some real character flaws that I haven't yet sorted out 100%, I am usually able to keep it under control. I'm a much more positive person now than I am negative, but when that negativity takes a hold I have a hard time accepting it sometimes and tend to blame others for it, when really it's nobody's fault but mine. Edit. Wow, I closed my eyes for what seemed to be a second and woke up to see that I got my first ever awards, in 8 years on this site, for a comment, and all it took was 100% brutal honesty. I'm glad many of you found this relatable and that it seemed to inspire some of you to make changes yourself. Thank you for all the love you've shown in your responses, it really warms my little heart. To anybody struggling with similar problems, I think like this comment shows, honesty really is the best policy. Really look at yourself, stop justifying your undesirable behaviors. We always have reasons for how we react but we never have excuses. Be gut-wrenchingly truthful with yourself, ask yourself why you're acting the way you do, and things will start to make sense. It sucks and does hurt, but it's a really necessary step to take if you truly want to be a better person. Remember that nobody is really responsible for your own happiness but yourself, and how you perceive things. These are things I'm sure most people, if not all, already know, but it is so easy to forget when we are distracted by the busyness of our hectic lives. It really is important to take a step back and look at yourself objectively. My PMs are open if anybody needs to talk about anything, especially during these trying times. Love you all, and please take care of yourselves, learn to love and forgive yourselves. Heavy black heart clinking glasses.